What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy RAPTORMAN, and we're bringing you another video. How is everybody doing out there today? Today is February the 28th, and it is Friday. Friday. But guess where I'm at? I'm in the shithole. Here, I'll show you. I might turn around here. I think the last time I did well, maybe not the last time I did a video, but I did a video when I was here a while back, and so I'm back again. But check it out. Sitting on top of the swamp. It's snowing. We're in a long grain line in a shithole plant that I hate coming to. Yeah. So anyway, how's everybody doing today? Today should be payday for a lot of people. So I decided to do this video while I got a little bit of time sitting in line. I've been real busy lately. I've been doing a lot of stuff, hauling a lot of grain stuff down to St. Louis and getting fertilizer, you know. Bringing that back. Fertilizer pays pretty good. It's I don't know about. I mean, it fluctuates just like the grain does. So the price can, you know, it's not a set price. It, you know, it could go up and down either way. But usually the average is about $12.50 to $15 a ton, depending on where you get it from. I think the average fertilizer rate that I've been getting was about $12.50 a ton. So it's a little on the lower side of the scale versus, you know, the higher, like the $15 scale or whatever. You know, so it's not bad. You figure, you know, you could fit 26 ton or so, 25 and a half, 26, depending on the trailer and equipment, and how much fuel you got, how you run. But I can get about 26 ton on there, so you figure $12.50 a ton. You can do the math. That's what a fertilizer load pays. So I figured, like I said, I've been really busy. I've not really had a whole lot of time to make any videos, but I got some things in the works. I got some things in the works. And I'll get into that here in just a little bit. But first, I want to speak on something that I watched. I watched a video from the Trucker's Coach yesterday, and it was an older video. It was from 2018, but specifically, the reason why I want to touch on this particular video, and I believe the name of the title of the video was something along the lines of why does owner-operators fail within the first year. And so I was watching this video, and you know, he was I believe it was a live feed too, I think, when he did it, but I'm not sure. But anyway, this video, if you've not had a chance to check it out, go check it out. Go look up the Trucker's Coach. Go check it out, because the stuff that he was saying in the video is pretty much spot on. And how I know it's spot on is because not everything, but a lot of the stuff, you know, at least half of the stuff he was saying, I am kind of experiencing myself. Not so much the, you know, failing in the first year, because obviously I did it for longer than a year. But I got into a little bit of trouble. And one of the reasons why I got out of it when I did is so that I can financially be able to do it. Which I've put a video out there. I've already explained all that stuff. But some of the things that Coach was saying was really spot on. especially particularly pertaining to the tax stuff. The tax stuff that he was talking about, I'm not a tax guy. I don't know a whole lot about how all that stuff works, especially as an owner-operator. So that was a side of the business as when I was an owner-operator. That's the side of the stuff that I had a little trouble on. Well, not to draw this video out super lengthy, but one of the things I want to speak on is, and as you guys know that come to this channel and you watch, I don't put out, misinformation. I don't, I try to put videos out with information as it comes to me, and different things like that. But one of the things I want to speak on is about the tax stuff, okay? We are in 2020, obviously. I got into a little, for lack of a better term, situation with my tax stuff. You got to remember, now, when I was an owner-operator in 2018, that was my first year. I'd never done it. I didn't have nobody holding my hand, walking me through it, how to do this and how to do that. As a lot of you guys know, yes, I was with Schneider, and they do a lot of the back office paperwork stuff for you. But one of the things they don't do is pay your quarterlies. Now, you don't have to pay your quarterly taxes. You can pay at the end of the year, as long as you put some back. Well, one of the problems that I ran into, and I'm not afraid to admit this, okay? And you guys know this channel, my channel, and the information I put out there, whether it's good or bad, I'll give it to you straight. You guys know this. That's why you guys subscribe. Even if it makes me look bad, you know what I mean? I will still put my situation out there so that the next person that is watching or looking something up on YouTube pertaining to trucking or being an owner-operator or whatever the situation is, hopefully somebody will come across my videos and be like, okay, we heard about all this other stuff, but then RAPTORMAN, he said this, from his experience. And you guys know, I put it out there what I go through, what my experiences are. Whether I did it wrong or did it right, I still put it out there and I let you guys know. So, real quickly, I want to touch on something. One of my mistakes, okay, and it is and was a mistake, was my tax stuff. Being a first-year owner-operator, again, I didn't have no other big YouTuber guy, where I could call every day like some of these guys, and that doesn't have the experience, and they are connected with another YouTuber who's been doing it for years or has done it before, 5 times before, whatever. I don't have nobody like that could help me or walk me through or, explain things per se or whatever. So what happened was I didn't pay quarterly taxes because I just already planned on paying one time at the end of the year. I would put back, 25%, each quarter or whatever, each paycheck or whatever it was, and then just pay at the end of the year, And of course I had ATBS as my accounting people, and I only went with them just because it was, I don't know, $20 a week. So I figured, well, what's $20 a week? It does add up, obviously. But I figured if I could pay them to keep track of all that stuff, then with them and between them and Schneider, I don't have to, I can focus on learning the freight and the lanes and the running the business side of it and the truck side of it. I could focus on that more than having to worry about paperwork and all that stuff when you pay somebody else to do that for you. Okay, so what I did wrong was, where I made my mistake is, well, first I made the mistake off top. Okay, I started off wrong. I went and bought a brand new truck. That was being a first-time owner-operator, buying a brand new truck. I got sucked in. It is a very big mistake. It's a very big learning curve that I had to endure, and I had to learn that the hard way. And unfortunately, I am getting ready to learn that the hard way. So I didn't pay quarterly taxes because the plan was to pay one time a year. But the intention, I was just going to take out taxes, a percentage out of each check and then, put it back, not touch it. I mean, the mindset is right. I knew what I had to do. However, under Snyder's umbrella, under the IC program, it is very, very tough in my eyes. Maybe it wasn't tough for you. If one of you guys are doing it now, maybe it ain't tough for you. And if it's not, congrats, my hat is off to you. But the problem I ran into is with that truck payment being so extremely high. You're talking $1,043 a week. That's over $4,000 a month. Okay, that's some high ass numbers. Okay, and that information is out there on YouTube all over. All right, it's been beat to death. Everybody knows. We all know it. But unfortunately, some of us, it's not that we have bad credit, but we don't have enough credit, or our score's not high enough to walk into a dealership with $20,000 and say, here, let me get a Peterbilt, or let me get a whatever, truck. It don't have to be a Peterbilt, Kenworth. It could be a Freightliner. But we don't have 10 or 25 or 20% or 15% to put down on a brand new truck, which technically we shouldn't be doing it that way anyway. You got to start off small, start off used, work your way up, save money, and then buy your new truck. Well, again, that's the way I should have did it, but I didn't. Okay, so it was my mistake. I learned from it, and I got to move on. So what happened was, over time, I'm knowing in my head that I'm not putting quarterly, I'm not putting anything back for taxes. Not because I didn't want to or didn't have the mindset. It's just because I felt by the time you make truck payments, insurance payments, fuel, pay your bills at home, whatever, there was not really nothing left to put back for taxes. So that began the downfall. That began the unforeseen problem. So, the mindset you get into was, well, okay, I'll just try to put something back the next big check I get, where there is enough. And yes, that has happened. But like I said, don't get me wrong, I made plenty of money when I was with Snyder, but by the time you pay your household bills, and whatever they may be, everybody's different, but by the time you pay for everything, your business stuff, and then, you put money back for maintenance that Snyder does and all that, the mindset I had was, well, I don't want to just make company driver money. I at least want to, if I'm going to be out here taking all the risks, I want to, have some kind of benefit. And I didn't go out and buy new cars. I didn't buy, although I could have. I made the money like that. But, at the time I had 3 loans under my belt, that I was paying on and I was taking care of. Not to mention, I have a wife and kids at home. I have household bills that I'm half responsible for and all that. So by the time you pay for all that, and I never got behind on my bills and none of that, my bills were always paid for on time. But by the time you do all that, you'd be lucky to have, $100, $200, if you're lucky, left over where you can even put back for taxes. So, so the mindset that I fell into was, I got to live some kind of life outside this truck. So even after whatever, $100, and I'm not saying my paycheck was $100, but I'm saying, if I take back all the household bill money that I, obviously was paying for, I made a pretty decent check. I'm just saying after all expenses and everything was paid for, I may have had $100 left. And in my eyes, I didn't know what, if that was going to be enough, a year down the road. I didn't know if that was going to be enough. And not only that, but there were some times where all you do is make a truck payment and the insurance and the fuel, and you break even. Because that's just the nature of the business of being an owner-operator. It's not all about making millions of dollars. It's just not like that. The only time you really make a shit ton of money is if you have your own equipment, your own authority, and it's paid off. Everything's paid off, truck or trailer. Then you can put 100% of the profits in your pocket. That's when you make a shit ton of money. But if you're under a Snyder umbrella or a lease program, and you know, and you're paying extremely high ass amount for a truck payment like that, it's hard to get ahead. I'm not saying it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but I'm saying it is possible. I know people that's done it. I know people that's paid off a Snyder truck, okay, in 4 or 5 years, however long they've done it. But they never had a home life. They never went home. You know, you got to kind of find some kind of balance between home life and trucking, you know, in my eyes. Not everybody's that way, but I am. So the problem I had was it got really, really overwhelming. The tax stuff got really overwhelming. And I knew I was getting behind. I knew I was getting behind. I had every intention of paying the quarterly taxes because that's how I wanted to do it. I knew that was the smart way to do it. But it just got so overwhelming. And then the year went by. Now we're in 2019. Then, you know, I got lazy. Where in 2019, now my mindset is, I'm just trying to stay afloat. Forget taxes for a second. I'm trying to keep my business going. You know, because we all know 2019, the industry got shitty. The rates fell. You know, again, all that information's out there. We all know. The rates went into the shitter. Companies were dropping like flies. So now my mindset, let's not focus so much on the tax stuff right now as trying to stay in business. Okay? So that's what my mindset was. That was the wrong mindset. That was another mistake. So the whole time I'm trying to stay focused on keeping my business afloat and not go under like all these other big companies that are dropping like flies, you know. So I'm trying to focus so much on that I kind of lost focus on the tax stuff completely. Okay, that was mistake number 3. So now what happened was I had an extension filed, okay, which so I was legal. I had an extension filed, but ATBS, you know, I live a very, very busy home life, and I'm not saying this is no excuse by no means, okay? I'm not saying that at all, but I live a very, very busy home life when I am home. When I'm on the road, I'm on the road, you know, for the week, whatever, 5 days, 7 days, whatever I decide to run. But I got lazy in the mind, I think, and so I didn't send in my stuff when I needed to, basically on time. So now there's penalties and fees. You know, that the IRS taxes you on for not filing on time. I mean, you had an extension, but your extension's only good until I think October. So once you go past October, boom, they start hitting you. Boom, boom, boom. Well, so I finally got all the stuff in, and I got sent into ATBS, and basically, long story short, now I'm in what I would consider a pretty good debt to the IRS. I think it's not so much what I owed, particularly in taxes, just for being in business, as it is so much the penalties and the fees that got tacked on. I think I wrote the number down, but of course I'm in the truck now, but I think it was like $10,500 is what I owe. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it'd be about $10,500 is what the estimation is, which is, it's not too, I mean, but that's only for 2018. 2019, same thing. Same scenario, same thing. Now, Only difference is 2019, the rates are shittier than 2018. So now, you know, I got to start working twice as hard, which is exactly what happened. I started staying out longer. You know, I was losing my home time because of it and this and that. So it just got worse. The attitude and the mindset got even twice as worse than what it was when the rates were good, you know. So when it's all said and done, it'll probably be about 20 grand or so, which is not horrible. But, you know, like I still got other loans and stuff that I'm paying off for cars and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've had a lot of vehicle breakdowns between mine and my wife's. It's just been right after another, and it seems like I can't get ahead. And so this tax stuff is coming at a really bad time. But you know, but the point was, I watched Coach's videos, and this particular video that he was talking on was about how guys fail in the first year. And that is spot on information. Spot on information. And it's like what he was saying. The only difference between me and his scenarios were, in his scenarios, he was saying that a lot of drivers, they get in the mindset that they're making all this newfound money and this big money, and they go out and buy bass boats and cars and vacations and all this. And a lot of times that is accurate. That is what a lot of people do. I did not. I didn't buy fancy cars and boats and vacations and all that. As a matter of fact, the only time I went on vacation as an owner-operator was when I went down to South Carolina for 1 week. Was it 7 or 10 days? I think it was 7. 7 days, 1 week, to watch my stepson graduate basic training in the military. That's it. So it's not really a vacation, you know what I mean? You're on a military base in South Carolina, so, you know, how much of a vacation can you really be having, you know? But other than that, I didn't take no vacations. I didn't buy no brand new cars. I didn't even buy no toys, you know? The toys and my bike and all that stuff that I already had before I was even an owner-operator. So, you know, that's kind of where we're at. And so his video was spot on. And if you guys haven't seen it, man, go check it out. Go look up how owner-operators, or why owner-operators fail in the first year. Something really close to that, and look for Coach to be the video maker, and you'll go and just watch it. It's not a very long video, but man, it is spot on. And so from my experience as an owner-operator, I learned a lot, okay? I learned a lot. So, I think once I get, you know, the IRS stuff, you know, tweaked out and figured out with them and stuff, I think I'm gonna make some changes. What I mean by that is, I'm in the works right now as you guys know. I went local, right? I'm back to farming and stuff, and I'm still driving a truck, obviously. But I learned a lot. I know, and I admit where my mistakes were, and I know what I could or should do differently. You know, if there ever was a next time or whatever. And I would set myself up. See, and that's the other thing too, is I was set up wrong from the get-go. Okay? Like and I'm at fault for that, not Snyder. I'm at fault for that. I set myself up wrong from day one. Wrong. And I got myself into a high-ass lease purchase, and it was just the wrong thing to do. I got caught up, you know, like everybody else does, and I got sucked into the old brand new truck and no money down and all that. But at the end of the day, I mean, it was the wrong move. And not to mention, the wrong move at the wrong time, meaning, you know, yes, I got into it when the rates were great. 2018, everybody was becoming millionaires. But as soon as 2019 hit, boom, all that other good year just went to hell, because now it's going to, you know, balance itself out. So, basically, I got some things in the works, you guys. I have some things in the works right now. There's a lot of stuff open right now, but with this current company that I'm with right now, there is some talks between me and the boss right now with maybe coming back out. I may be coming back out to spread my wings again. This time, though, I'd be set up a lot different. Things would be a lot different. Just the setup in general. So, what I'm potentially looking at, I mean, we haven't really sat down and hashed out the details per se, but my boss just bought 3 trucks, okay? I don't know what they are yet. I didn't ask, he didn't say. I just know he bought 3 trucks. I don't know if they're brand new trucks or if they're just new compared to what we already have. I don't know. I know he's got 3 trucks that he just bought. And again, I don't know if they're even bought and paid for, if he's making payments on them. I don't know. I think they're bought and paid for. I think he bought 3 of them outright. So, right now, because the farming stuff is kind of in a slow season, obviously, because we're well after harvest. But with this tax stuff going on, I'm thinking I need to do something. I need to spread my wings again. And I think what we're looking at is maybe me getting into one of these other new trucks and coming back out on the spot market, because my boss already has trailers, and we already do different stuff right now. We have a driver that he runs a hopper trailer. I think it's a hopper trailer is what he's pulling, but he does the agricultural stuff. He runs a lot of seed and feed and fertilizer and that sort of thing, but he deals with brokers. And so I don't know too much about his setup. He's not in his own truck. He is actually in a company truck of ours, but he is pretty much an owner-operator setup, except for it's not his truck. Okay? I guess that's the best way I can explain it. But the boss lets him pretty much run the truck like it was his, you know? And so that kind of piqued my interest. Because obviously I know, with the experience that I've got, I know even if I come back out and run on the spot market, okay, even if I use somebody else's equipment and I pretty much ran it as it was my own business, man, I can make a killing not having a truck payment, if that was even, you know, the setup or whatever. But I don't know. That's stuff that me and the boss hasn't sat down. You know, we got to sit down again and talk. But I think it'd be a lot different. You know, even if because hell, I'm not even opposed to buying a truck from the boss, and I'd rather buy the truck from my boss and pay him, you know, X amount of dollars a month or a week or whatever for payments, versus a big mega carrier that's gonna, number one, overcharge the shit out of you anyway. Number two, make it almost extremely hard to even pay the truck off in the end because the payment's so high. And then in a downed market like 2019, you're barely able to survive as it is. And I know a lot of guys you know, they got through it. And man, I'm telling you, my hat is off to those guys, okay? Congrats. Man, it was tough. Unfortunately, I saw it coming and I dipped out of it, okay? Now, whether people want to say, oh, you shouldn't have ran or you should have tried to hang on, I held on for as long as I was going to hang on. But I saw the results coming, and I'm like, nah, I got to be able to do this now if I'm going to pull the trigger, because financially, I don't want to get buried, okay? So, but like I said, it was my mistakes that I made, and I learned them and I accept them. So now, you might ask, well, what's going to be different? Well, there's going to be a lot of stuff different. Number one, I'd be set up differently. That in and of itself is huge. So, you know, I just got to sit back down with the boss when he's got time, and he's busy as hell. He's hard to catch, but I just got to sit back down with him, hash out some details. He's already told me basically we don't necessarily have to do agricultural stuff. You know, I can use a dry van trailer. I can run brokered freight. I know more about the broker side of it, spot market side of it than he does, you know. And my boss is really good guy. Really good guy. I mean, I've not been here that long, but I can already tell he's an older gentleman. He's laid back. I mean, really laid back. Really nice guy. Like half the guys over here are semi-retired, if that ought to tell you something. So, I think this might be a potential opportunity for the RAPTORMAN to come back out and spread his wings for a little bit and give it a second try, because I'm not a quitter. And I know being an owner-operator in whatever aspect that you might call somebody an owner-operator, you know, I know I can do it. I know there's guys that are not in financial stuff, you know, who don't have the financial burdens like I do, or actually, I'm sorry, who has more of the financial burdens that I do. I know they make it. Okay, they make it work. So, but that's what's coming down the pipe. We're working on some things. I told you several months back in a video, you know, I might be down, you know, by giving the truck back and all that, you know, but don't necessarily count me out, because I'm always working on things. So we might have potentially some big things coming down the pipe, and we just got to hash out some details. And here's the deal. So let me ask you this. Let's say my boss has a paid off truck. Okay, he doesn't own anything on it. He bought it outright. Let's say I get in that truck, and I pay for the fuel and everything else except for truck payment. Let's just say, okay. Let's say I'm going to operate a company truck, basically, because that's what it is, and I don't buy it. But let's say I run on the spot market, okay, and I run spot market freight strictly. Boom. Would I, in your eyes, would I be considered an owner-operator or not? Because I don't own the truck. I'd be still running off of, you know, my boss's authority or whatever. So I guess it's kind of like a fine line there. You know what I mean? It's kind of a fine line, because I know some people is going to say, well, it's not your truck, so technically you're not an owner-operator. So I don't know, but I'm not saying, you know, I'm I'm necessarily not going to buy a truck. Okay, I'm not saying that, but I do believe that if I was going to buy another truck, number one, I'd be set up a hell of a lot different. There'd be a hell of a lot difference from when I was with Schneider. And I already know what kind of rates I can get in a shitty market. I know the rates. I was doing $2 a mile in a shitty market last year. Okay, when I ran the spot market freight. So I already know the capabilities. I know what I can do. I know how hard I can run or not run. You know what I mean? So if I didn't have a brand spanking new truck where my payments were $4,000 a month, I think I'd be okay. Because once you take down and take away, even if you cut your payments in half and you do everything else exactly identical the same, the only problem was it was not being able to put back enough for taxes. That's it. That is the only problem that I really per se had. It's not because I didn't make enough money. I chose to back out of it. I'm not even going to say that the industry forced me to back out of it and give up my business. I'm not going to say that at all. I'm not going to say that. I just knew I had to stop, step back, and regroup. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm regrouping. So I think as long as I set myself up correctly, and I take what had happened in the past and I learn from those experiences, and I set my mind straight and do things differently, and take heed to what I've learned and what mistakes I've made and do things differently, I think I'll be okay. I really do. I don't know, just it's something about being a boss, has, and not just in trucking, but just like of a business, any kind of business, something about being your own boss, man. It just does something to me, I don't know. But anyway, so big things working in the pipe right now, so I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. Let me know. Comment down below. If you got any advice, hell, hey, I'm all open to anybody's advice, okay? And so there's a little bit of details to figure out and to find out from my boss, about these trucks. For one, what are they? How old? How new? Before I actually make another decision, a big decision at that, to go full-blown owner-operator again, And I'm not even going to say, and you guys know I don't bullshit, I'm not even going to sit here and tell you that the potential of buying another truck is not in the works. Okay? Buying another truck and just run under my boss's authority, because I still don't really feel the need to have my own authority just yet. I think there's a lot of learning I still have yet to do before I take that step, okay? So, again, I'm not, I can be smart and do this at the same time, I just got to get the tax stuff under control and get set up right before I pull the trigger, okay? So that's my big news. And it's not something that's going to happen tomorrow, next week. It's something, this is a process that it's just going to take time. Okay, it's just like anything you do, it's just going to take time. So, with that being said, I am in the works. I've just got to be able to find the time to pull my boss to sit down and say, hey, look, you need to take a break for a minute. We got to talk, because he's busy as hell, throughout the day. But I think we're going to try to make it happen. And then the other thing is too, hypothetically, even if I don't buy the truck and the boss just lets me run the truck as it was my own business or any way I want, screw it, right? Okay, yeah, call me a company driver. It's still technically a company driver, whatever. But if I can pretty much run and go and do anything that you guys can do and make the same amount of money, yes, I would have, to split it with somebody versus being, an owner-operator where you run your own truck, on even under somebody else's authority. you still get that percentage cut or whatever. But hey, I'm not even opposed to that. I'll run your truck. We'll do something. We'll work something out with the percentage. Okay, I'll run your equipment and pretty much run it any way I want to run it and make as much money as I want to make, and I ain't got a truck payment. I'll do that too. Now, would I make as much as if somebody was like had their own truck leased on to somebody else? Probably not. It just depends. It depends what the percentage is. So, I don't know, but like I said, there's options. There's a lot of options on the table right now. I still got a little bit of homework to do. I'd like to get a hold of the other driver that we have over here that's doing the agricultural stuff and dealing with brokers, because I'd like to know, number one, which brokers is he using for agricultural freight, just for curiosity. But I do know the brokered freight that we use now is unfortunately TQL. We all know about Total Quality Logistics, and so I know the boss is trying to get away from them. I don't think he's under any kind of contractual agreement with them or nothing like that, but I do know he's trying to get away from TQL at the moment. And not to mention, talking about brokers, real quick, when I was on the spot market, I got plugged in and connected to a local broker that's right here in my state. They wanted me to be a preferred driver back then because I was hauling a lot of their freight, I was getting it there on time, and I was giving them a good rate. It just so happens that my boss actually knows that broker. Small world. So there may even be something in the lines of running, some contract freight for like direct freight for a broker. So again, there's some doors open. There's some options going on. Okay, so I'm not just going to up and jump into this and this and that. It's going to take a little bit of finessing on not only my part, but my boss's part. We got to collaborate. We got to kind of feedback and see how each other wants to set up and this and that. But don't count me out, okay? Don't count me out. And then, of course, as you guys know, I get back out here, OTRing it, or I call it OTRing, but whatever, spot market freight, over the road, whatever. Where I'm not technically home every day, I get back to running that. I'll be able to do some more YouTube videos. And again, like I did with my other stuff, my Schneider days and my Travel Loco days, I can be able to help you guys follow along with my journey a hell of a lot easier than I can now, obviously. But man, I'm kind of excited. I'm not saying it's going to happen, okay? I'm not saying it's done deal, it's signed, sealed, delivered, this is what's going to happen. But I am saying, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Big things in the works. And I will try to keep you updated as it happens. But stay tuned. Round 2. So, all right. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Give me some ideas, some pointers, advice, whatever you want to feel the need to comment. Because now I'm trying to be a big YouTube star. I have to get 1,000 subscribers at least. We gotta get them up. We gotta get the numbers up. I'm just messing with you. I'm not trying to be no YouTube star. But so hey, listen, I'm gonna cut it right here. It's been 45 minutes or so. So listen, I appreciate all of my subscribers. I think we're up to 200 and 37, I think, or 47, something like that. So we're getting up there slowly but surely. And I definitely appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. And I hope something, I'm not a very big informational YouTube channel. I just bring you the no bullshit, no lies, okay? That's what I bring. That's what I offer. So, when you come to my channel and you watch something, that's no bullshit right there. So, but we're going to cut it off right here. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I appreciate each and one of you guys that take the time out of your day. If you drive trucks like we do, be safe. All right, get home to the families. That's what it's about at the end of the day. And until next time, oh yeah.